I want to talk about how we could solve problems in algebra where we have a variable in our denominator. In an earlier video, I talked about how we could solve kind of complicated algebra problems involving fractions, and I'll link that at the end here. I'm going to use the same ideas that I used in that one. Now, the first thing that I would do always is just get rid of parentheses. I don't want to be doing fractional work and solving when I still have parentheses in it. So let's make one pass through where we just apply our 2 here. So multiply that times both. Like that. Now, the idea in my earlier video was the easiest way to deal with a problem like this with multiple fractions is to create one common denominator that would work for all of the things involved, all of the fractions involved. Now, I look at this and I think, well, the 3 and the 4, I could multiply those together and say 12. I could create a common denominator. It's that x that's a little tricky. But keeping with that same idea of multiplying, why not just use 12x? What I mean by that is, why don't I multiply this by 12, which I'm going to add right away to the top. We're going to do that. Here, to get 12x, I would multiply this second one by 4x, top and bottom. And this I'd multiply by 3x, top and bottom. And then every single piece has a denominator of 12x. So if I apply the 12 here to the top, I've got 12 times 2x plus 6. And then the 4x times 4. And 7 times 3x is 21x. And as I did in the previous video, we can certainly say, well, all of this is over 12x. All of this is over 12x. But as long as we are consistent, every denominator is the same, I don't even need to write those down. They're all divided by the same thing. Okay? Now we proceed like always. We say, well, combine like terms. I've got 12x and 16x, which is a total of 40x equals 21x. I'm actually going to move the x's to the right side, which I normally don't do, but yeah. So I have 72 equals negative 19x. I'll divide both sides by negative 19. And you could type that into your calculator if your teacher prefers decimals. I don't. So my answer is negative 72 over 19. Now, the one thing about this that you're going to have teachers just want to remind you about is because we are dividing by x is in the denominator, please remember that we cannot divide by 0. So anytime you involve an x in the denominator, you need to just be extra careful that as you're solving it, you're not solving for something that back in the original problem didn't exist. Because, once we got down here, we just ignored that there was an x in the denominator and we solved the numerator. But if in the end we'd come out with, oh, x is 0, which of course it isn't, that's our answer. But if we had, we would have to go back and verify, oh, that doesn't work, because in the original function, if we had 0 for x, we'd be dividing by 0 and it wouldn't exist. So just be aware of that. We have to notice that, as we're solving these, we have to be careful that our final answer exists in the original problem. If this video helped you, please like and subscribe for more math help. I have videos in algebra, geometry, algebra 2, calculus, and statistics.